the Tcaps Money in the Bank briefcase match comes later that night. Ahmed Tcap versus Ahmed Tcap versus Chase Island Cookies Pearson versus FDG Tally versus Charles Gatewood versus Suicide X to see who will grab that Tcaps title and cash it in. But see, when I said the Destroyer left, he didn't actually leave after he lost his Intercontinental title, because he was the Tcaps champion at that point in time. Anyway, so the winner to win that match, that Tcaps Money in the Bank briefcase match, was the one, the only piece of shit Ahmed Tcap. My rival. Yeah, and I ref the match, and he won. But see, that's where things turned around behind the scenes. Me and Ahmed, our relationship, our friendship, it actually got stronger, and we didn't hate each other anymore. We don't really hate each other that much anymore either. And it was because of that one match. Because he thought he was going to get screwed over by me. Oh, no. I played that down I call that down, right down the middle. So, at that point in time, I think he realized that he's got another chance at the Tcaps title. Because I gave him chances before, but he failed. Just like usual. Just kidding. But he actually got that Tcaps Money in the Bank briefcase. And, you know, to be honest, even though I hated him so much, you know, I told a lot of people that he didn't deserve it, but really, he was getting to the point where he was deserving to win a big match. He only won it because a lot of the people didn't show up, but that's okay, because you know what? He needed that briefcase. He needed that briefcase. Since that day, Tcaps Money in the Bank, he's been one of the tops. He's been the face, actually, of Tcaps. Like, yes, he just recently became a face, but I mean, like, he's been leading his company and carrying the company on his shoulders. But what really started it, from him carrying the company on his shoulders, well, after Tcaps Money in the Bank, a couple days later, sitting around, I was chilling out actually down here, just like I usually do, because I have no life. But I'm sitting here in my chair, and I'm watching Tcaps and whatnot, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm so bored. Then I see this tout. Ahmed Tcap makes his entrance. He's talking like a normal person, not excited or anything. Then he says, I'm cashing in my Tcaps briefcase Money in the Bank contract. I'm cashing it in now. Make it happen. Make this match happen. And I was like, shit. Shit. I contacted Kristen, which I wasn't supposed to do for Ahmed, but which I wasn't supposed to do because I wanted to call it fair down the middle, but I did do it. I told Ahmed I didn't, but I did. I contacted Christian, but he wasn't answering. I was like, sorry, I tried. That night, my rival, that I hated the most, won that Tcaps championship, while the Destroyer was at Six Flags. Ahmed Tcap went right under his nose and took it. Just like that. And then it all blew up! The next day, everything blew up. I was getting phone calls. I was getting freaking bullshit. I was getting this, that. The Destroyer was leaving, and he was pissed off and whatever. He came out furious like this with his big giant muscles, and you know what I said to myself? I said, you know, it finally feels good. It finally feels good to treat somebody the same, just like everybody else. And it also finally feels good that no matter how much I hated Ahmed, he needed what he got. He needed a little bit of a push. And he got it. With that Tcaps Money in the Bank title. I mean briefcase. Don't get me wrong, I've been saying all this shit about him because this part of the chapter is me and him being rivals. But all in all, he's not a bad superstar at all. People hate him because he is he's annoying, and really, I'll admit it, yes, he was annoying back then. But now, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. He's a great superstar. He's carried the company on his back since a couple of days after Tcaps Money in the Bank. And then the poor guy lost it. He lost it to the best. But that's okay, because he knows. He's got the guts. He fights for what he wants. Ahmed fights for what he wants, and he doesn't give up. Whatever he wants, he makes sure he gets. That's why I hated him back then, because he always got what he wanted, because he just complained about it. But that's the way his gimmick was, and that's the way his gimmick is as a wrestler. And you know what? It's good strategy. It's just like Eddie Guerrero. God rest your soul, Eddie. It's like lying and cheating and stealing. But instead of him, it's whining, crying, and getting what he wants. But besides all that, he's been having a really good career in Tcaps, and he's been awesome. He's really been awesome. And he's not a bad superstar. He gets whatever he wants done. But see, he has a partner, Frank the Tank. Let's talk about him for a little bit. Now we're going to talk about Frank the Tank. I can't wait to get started on him, because now I'm getting in more into the recent stuff. Right now, Frank the Tank, that's my recent rivalry right now. It's not a mean rivalry, it's a friendly rivalry, because we like each other a lot. We're pretty cool. But see, people, okay, earlier in my career, everybody knows that I had a little bit of a rivalry with the Destroyer, and I had that 3 Stages of Hell match with the Great One, the Destroyer. He's like The Rock. He's once in a lifetime and all that. But that wasn't the highlight of my career. I was nervous in that match, and it wasn't too fun for me, that match, because, well, the match should have ended at the 2nd stage, and it didn't. So I knew the Destroyer got screwed over, and I don't like being screwed over. I don't like when people get screwed over. So we're gonna jump back into WTW, because that's where the rivalry happened. So Frank the Tank came out one day, and I was the WTW champion, and he said, "You know, I've worked my ass off, and I think it's time for me to get a shot at the WTW championship." So I said to JS, "Hey, this kid wants a shot. Let's go." By the way, he's not a kid. He's like 19, and I'm 15. So, but anyway, I'm like, "Give him a shot, JS." Frank the Tank is one of the best competitors on tout as of today. He is really hard to beat. He knows what he's talking about, but I guess you can't say he's Destroyer good, but he's like right below the Destroyer. WTW Championship glory. I worked my damn ass off to keep that title. And damn, was it the most funnest and hardest match I've ever fought in my life. And that was the highlight of my career. I won that match. We blew the roof off the damn place. I was supposed to face JDK that night, but then Frank the Tank wanted a shot, and I said yeah. And that, it was just a memorable night. It was a history in the making. Everybody will remember that night. And to be honest, I think it will be the WTW 2013 match of the year. It was crazy. We blew the roof off the place. But then, well, rematch at the next pay-per-view. I said no. He has to move on. I said no because, well, I needed to hold that championship just for a little bit longer. And I needed, just for a little bit longer, that's all I needed. So, and I knew if I faced them again, I would lose. So I was afraid of him. I told you guys I'm not afraid to admit anything, and I'm admitting that I was afraid to face him. So really, he didn't put up much of a fight. So I fought JDK. I gave him his shot like he was supposed to get. But then a couple days later, Frank the Tank really wanted a rematch, and once again I declined it. But then the other day, JS had me do an interview, and he asked me what are the people I would like to face at WTW Championship, at WTW Over the Edge. All these bunch of people, but I'm pretty sure I really didn't say Frank, because again, I'm afraid of Frank. I know I'm going to lose the title if I face him again. But Frank the Tank came out, and he wasn't talking shit. He was just like motivating me into saying yes. So many people can play with my head, even though I'm the master of mind games because I'm the Mass Destroyer. But he really got into me, and he really made me want to do it. So I said yes to him. Tomorrow, it is Saturday, November 30th, 2013. WTW Over the Edge. I'm facing him. And I know for a fact, because I know the way JS works, that I'm going to lose tomorrow. So Frank, if you're watching this, congratulations on being the new champ. But if I'm still the champ, somehow, you put up a good fight. But I know I'm not going to be, because I know I can't beat two people. A person that is as strong as you twice in a row. It's impossible for me. But I'm going to try. And yeah, I'm not bringing Tcaps. I'm bringing me. The real me. So watch out. Because you're going to get got.
I started by joining Tcaps like maybe around July or August around this year. But before when I joined Tcaps, I started in this other company by JS102 WTW. I didn't know any other superstars. I didn't know what talents that I did. So when I did my first match, my first official match in WTW, I was in shock that I never thought that I was going to win a match, to be honest. Like, in my life, I thought I was going to lose all the time. Like, people say in my life that I was going to be, like, a sore loser. That's what they keep saying because I can't do something right that could make me a winner. But when I won my first match on Tout in WTW, everyone see me how well I did. Like Tcaps, Amizacom, everybody on town to see how well I do. And they said, wow, this kid is really good doing promos. Maybe one day, he might be a good, better superstar. When I joined Tcaps, I got a call from Tcaps himself. And he said, Frank, I saw you doing good in WTW, and I would like you to join in my company also, Tcaps. And I see how his company does, and it's like the same thing at WTW, of course, but like his company was longer before WTW, and I have to press with that. His was a good big company. So what happens when he offered me a chance to join his company, I gotta accept the offer. Cause he saw me how momentum, how intelligence I did when I did well on WTW, and what happens after that? But when I joined Tcaps in my first match in Tcaps, he gave me a title shot, and what happens? I just won my first championship on Tcaps, and that was a Tcaps WWE Championship. I'm a former two-time Tcaps WWE champion. Like, I gotta say, like what I did, if it wasn't for him, I would have been like a good, great superstar when I did on Tout. When I met Tcaps, like I said, it was when I joined WTW first. But when I met Tcaps, he was the Mass Destroyer, and honestly, I was like, oh man, this guy got some words. This guy could talk the talk. and that's what I like all about. I'm all about some good competitions. That's what I do in my life. My heart and my body is all about good competitions. That's what I do. And I was looking